with you the purpose of an open relationship. You will never see relationships ever again. So I'm going to share that with you, but I want you to prepare yourself, because once you learn the purpose of an open relationship, you will never see relationships the same way again. So are you ready for that? The purpose of an open relationship is this wonderful and happy and amazing thing which most people don't recognize, because most people imagine and don't know, unwittingly, they imagine that open relationships is about open zipper or open door. In other words, most people imagine open relationships as you're just going around and seeing anybody you want and seeing everybody and a lot of people and just having a lot of fun. The truth is, open relationships is so beautiful. It's founded on the premise of unconditional love and worthiness and deservingness and happiness and persistent, ongoing merit in a relationship. So what is the purpose of an open relationship? The number one purpose of an open relationship, there are a couple of more that I'm going to go over in this video, is that it ensures each other's wanting genuinely and persistently and authentically the desire for the person's happiness, well-being, self-actualization, and gain. Because the only reason they're in the relationship in the first place is because it merits its existence. Meriting means you deserve to be in the relationship. It's founded on true love, because true love, or love, unconditional love, the only kind of true love, is wanting for the person's happiness intrinsic to your own happiness. And that means you want whatever makes them happy. And if from time to time they feel the urge, maybe for the woman it's a certain portion of the month, they feel the urge they have a desire for a certain kind of person, certain type of person, and you want that for them. And when they go after the things that they want, whether they travel to a different country, whether they pursue their career, you want that for them. And then you wonder, well, what if they leave me alone, and what if I'm alone and they're with somebody else? And then I say to myself, go on, baby, I'll be okay, I'll be fine, I have options. Go pursue what you want. Go pursue the things that you'd like, that makes you self-actualized and happy and self-successful. I'll be fine. And when you come back to me, I know you'll be back because you want to be and like to be with me. I don't ever want it where you're with me only because you have an obligation to, or only because you have to be with me, not because you actually want to be. So the number one purpose of an open relationship is a genuine, real-time meaning right now, and ongoingly and persistently at every single moment they want to be there. And they genuinely want for your happiness. They genuinely want for your actualization and self-success and your well-being. The second purpose of an open relationship is to get rid of the death knell of every relationship you can ever imagine. The death knell. A death knell is a different word for a signal. The signal for the death of every loving relationship is being and feeling taken for granted. If I grant myself to you, I am granted to you, and you grant yourself to me, you are granted to me, the inevitable result is that you and I both are taken for granted and feel inevitably taken for granted. Do you see what that is? Most people don't really understand and appreciate what being taken for granted is. Let's say you have a very, very rich kid who's born with a golden spoon, and they get everything given to them. In high school or in middle school, they already, let's say in middle school, high school. In high school, they already have a car. Of course, and the kid expects, of course I'm going to have a car. My dad's a millionaire. And so they have millions and millions of dollars, and then so when they grow up and they lose all the resources, maybe the father passed away or their source of their income have gone away, they don't have the skills to have that, so they fail. And they don't have any skills to keep the money that they've earned. There is a statistic where most people who win the lottery lose all their money and are actually worse off than they got when they got started. The reason why is because when they take the money granted to them, they win the lottery, the inevitable result is that they take it for granted. And so when they lose all the money, they spend it on things that they've always imagined they should be spending it on. They don't actually have the skills to keep the money. It's not about how much money you make, but how much you keep. Tax season. And so they don't have the skills to keep the money. And so they lose it all. And a lot of them are worse off than they began because they lose the people they love. And some of them commit suicide, or they buy lots of drugs, or they drink lots of liquor. The next purpose of an open relationship, is to keep your home a happy home. So what if you were to want a family? And what if you want to you want kids? Can you actually have a happy and harmonious open relationship in a marriage or in a family or when you're having kids? Well, let's look at the alternate. What's the alternate? The alternate is you have a close relationship and you have a family, you have kids. The number one goal for any parent is to make sure that their kid is living in a happy home. The second goal of the parent is to keep the kids away from an unhappy home. So if you were, for example, to separate, to live in two different houses, now the kid has two happy homes. What's the alternate? They live in an unhappy home, which we're all too familiar about. So when you're in an open relationship, so how do you now build a family with an open relationship and have kids? Every relationship has an arrangement. Some of them less explicit, more presumed, and some of them are less presumed and more explicit. The arrangement is very, very clear. Remember this always. Every relationship stands to become better when things are less presumed and things are more explicitly explained and clear. So you make an arrangement, baby, let's have kids. Let's raise a family. And we're going to have an open relationship, of course. So let's set rules so that we can ensure that our kids have a happy home. This is also why arranged marriages back in the past worked better than marriages we have now, because marriages we have now, you're presumed to act against your nature. You're presumed at the outset that you're going to be with one person for the rest of your life when it's actually not not what you evolved to feel and be. And then you just live. Some people persist their terrible relationships. They become abused and beat up, and they have children, and now they have a very, very unhappy home. And then they divorce and they have all these money problems, and they're just dissatisfied ongoingly, persistently. And the kids have to be in an unhappy home. Better yet, you have an arrangement. And you genuinely want for their happiness, well-being, and gain and actualization. And if you were no longer to be merited, you no longer deserve to be worthyful of each other. And then now you have two happy homes, which the kid can have fun with. And so this is the reason why it takes a tremendous amount of maturity to be in an open relationship. It's far advanced. It takes a tremendous amount of communication. It takes a tremendous amount of self-love, self-appreciation, self-happiness, self-worth, and deservedness. And most people don't have that kind of maturity. So how then will you be able to have enough maturity and find other people who have that kind of maturity to be able to be in happy and harmonious open relationships? I was thinking about that, and I said, well, what if we started a group? And the purpose of this group is to help other people develop themselves to a point where they are mature, they appreciate deservedness and worthiness, they want to be worthy people. When you become a worthy person, you're worthy of other people's attention and they're worthy of you. It becomes tremendously happy and you genuinely want for their happiness, well-being, and gain. And so how do you become that kind of person? And so I started this group called Quantum Enlightened Advantage, because when you are a worthyful person, you have a tremendous advantage over other people. You no longer have to pretend to be someone you're not. You are the person who you are, and you present yourself as you are. And you communicate openly and transparently without any judgment, without any remorse, and with tremendous maturity, and there's nothing more attractive than that. And I like to say in my title of my group on my page is you can have all these skills and power and sex appeal, even if you're inexperienced, even if you're sick, broke, or ugly. And my sweetie laughs about that, but that's the truth. When you are the kind of person who doesn't have to prove anything, you become fantastically attractive. What do you think about this? Share it in the comments below. I would appreciate if you click the thumbs up, click the like, and comment below, what do you think is the purpose of an open relationship? What do you think about the points I've addressed? I'd love to hear from you. And share this video with other people and subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you on the next video.